Hello there and welcome to another free members video where today we're just going to chat shit and just get on with talking all things fantasy football, obviously. Just want to say anybody watching on the premiere, hello. Getting good responses actually to these videos, very positive comments and they're welcome. I'm amazed that there's no troll comments. Usually when we were doing the pre-recorded videos, the amount of troll comments we would get was inundated. Now it's next to nothing, but then again, the way YouTube works now is that a lot of these comments just go straight into the trash automatically, held for review as it says. But yeah, I'll just get straight on with the team in front of you that you can see, which is completely different to the team that you would have seen on Saturday. This team is essentially based on the form of the players during the pre-season at the moment, or more to the point, players which I kind of want to build my team around. And specifically from a triple up on Liverpool, that is without question. I'd love to be able to do triple up on Man City. I'd love to be able to do that if I can. If I can, I will. And yeah, the form of certain individuals has got to the point where, for instance, with the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, I am blown away by how good he's looking at the moment. In fact, he's looking ridiculous. Ridiculous. So if you're listening on audio, Meslier in goal, Trent, Robertson, Cancelo, Zinchenko. I'm amazed he started last night against Chelsea, but he did. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. I said all along that Zinchenko could be an absolute bargain at 5 million. I say out of position. I know he was in defence last night, but you know what I mean. Could potentially fill into that midfield role if and when necessary. And, you know, they won 4-0 yesterday against Chelsea of all teams, which, once again, I'm not going to go in-depth studying. I don't see any of these matches whatsoever, but 4-0. And considering the teams were virtually full strength, I think that's very telling. Now, Arsenal's pre-season so far, from what I gather, has been really, really productive. Jesus has looked apparently really, really good, thanks to Gianni Buttis. He tweeted out that, of course, Jesus gets man of the match. So, yeah, it's really quite fascinating knowing that the likes of Arsenal are just coming through this pre-season looking really good. Now, obviously, you could say, well, hold on a minute, Steve. There's been teams in the past who have looked really good, and then by the time the season actually starts and it all becomes competitive, completely different kettle of fish. You're right. This isn't Bournemouth. This isn't Fulham, Nottingham Forest. Who else is rubbish in the Premier League? Everton. I mean, it's all right for people to say, oh, don't touch Everton with a barge pole. Not that anybody would anyway. They're looking really bad in pre-season. I wouldn't go near them. But you bring up Arsenal looking really, really good. It's like, yeah, but it's pre-season. Hold on a minute. What's the difference? What's the difference? A dwarf... But yeah, I look at Chelsea's team in front of me, or Arsenal's team more specifically, the starting 11. I would argue that's pretty much their first team, barring the odd player. Ramsdale in goal, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli and Jesus. That is virtually their full strength squad. You then have, for Chelsea, Mendy in goal, Reece James, Chalobah, Silva, Emerson, Jorginho, Gallagher, Havertz, Mount, Sterling. Sterling made an appearance, or not even made an appearance, he started. And Werner. Now, admittedly, a lot of these players were substituted at either the half-time mark. The likes of Gallagher, Sterling, Emerson and Chalobah were all replaced at half-time by, I would argue, pretty much second-string team in Sarr, Alonso, Azpilicueta and Kovacic. Werner was replaced by Pulisic. You've then got Havertz, Mason, Mount, all replaced by Batshuayi and Ziyech. I thought he was going Ziyech. And then towards the end of the game, the 70th minute, Jorginho, Silva and Reece James were replaced by Hudson-Odoi, Koulibaly and Ampadu. Now, you could argue that Koulibaly is going to be first choice for Chelsea, replacing Chalobah. So it'll be Chalobah and Silva. Obviously, there's no, I was going to say Reece James, and Ben Chilwell isn't there. But, you know, within reason, that is Chelsea's full-strength team versus Arsenal's full-strength team. Now, Tuchel could have just said, like Dyche did, like Dyche used to do with us in the FA Cup, take it easy, lads, don't worry about it. And then we get battered by Luton Town 4-0 and get knocked out of the fifth round of the FA Cup. But I can't quite see that. And yeah, it's telling. It's very interesting to see this. It's the same with I was saying in the last video that I did regarding psychology and looking at players' body language and everything. And don't know if anybody's seen it, but Liverpool put out a training video of them in wherever they were, whatever part of the world they were in. And I saw Salah. I just saw the team training in general, but Salah, good Lord, I don't know what steroids he's taking, but that's libelous, isn't it, Steve? I don't know what he's doing, but he is looking in fantastic condition. He's looking really happy. I think what Klopp has done with Liverpool with this, I know this is stating the obvious over the past several years, but what he's done with Liverpool and building this team spirit tells me a lot. They look on it. And in the training videos itself, Salah looked... He looked on fire. Now, admittedly, it's just training, but like I said, you can tell a lot by their body language. Whereas Diaz looked really happy, but he couldn't hit a barn door. He didn't have his shooting boots on. Firmino's another one, didn't have his shooting boots on. Harvey Elliott looked really, really good. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute these are FPL options, but the point I'm trying to get at is that these players, so long as they look good, they take this form into the season, and we all know how good Liverpool's opening fixtures are. Man City, another team who I've been watching some of their behind-the-scenes videos. They all look happy. Haaland especially, looks like he's fitted in well. Obviously, he scored. So you won't be seeing this till, obviously, today, which is Tuesday. But he scored on late Saturday evening into Sunday morning. It was a tap-in. But what I took away from the highlights, and what I took away from their game against whoever it was when Kevin De Bruyne scored twice, was that Kevin De Bruyne and Grealish look sublime. They look, especially De Bruyne, looks on fire. And I'll tell you what, the way I'm approaching this season, in fact, we'll get onto a comment from John Harris. Right, Steve, mate. We'll get onto a comment from John. Oh, by the way, I've got a really ridiculous impression to share with you in a minute, actually. That reminds me. Oh, I bet you can't wait for that. So, I want to approach this season as in game week 1 to 3 as cautiously as possible. This team up on screen here, as much as the friendlies have made me sway my mind a bit, I'm still happy with the 4-5-1 formation, the 5-4-1 formation that I saw, which you would have seen the other day, where it was Tomiyasu, who's now not going to be playing, but Tomiyasu, Trent, Robertson, Reece James, Cancelo. So basically this back four here. And then it was Salah, Saka, Neto, Foden. Foden can clear off now. But this is the thing, I can now downgrade these players to maybe downgrade Foden to Grealish. That saves me £1 million. £1 million! Which means I can upgrade somewhere else, potentially. Neto's been performing well this particular summer. Bailey. Every single Twitter account seems to be banging on about Bailey. Karma baby. And then Jesus, like I say. And no, I'm it's the first time ever going into a fantasy football season where I'm not suggesting for 1 minute I'm studying the friendlies, but I am interested looking at the big teams. Like I said, the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, Tottenham. Tottenham's another one. I haven't mentioned them actually, but you just get what you expect from them. Son's looking like he's just continuing his form from last season. He's a fear for me. Someone that I'm scared of not owning. But I can put 50p on him. You've then got the likes of Harry Kane, who, again, I know it's highlights, but he's just doing what Harry Kane does. Just pops up with a goal. In fact, no one will know this, but I've been going down do you remember Virtual FPL? Been going down a Virtual FPL rabbit hole. And there was one particular game week where Jason was like, oh God, I'm really fearful of Harry Kane. It was up against Crystal Palace. This is when Jose Mourinho was in charge, even though it's Virtual FPL. But anyway, and Jason was really panicking about Harry Kane doing really, really well. So Crystal Palace started off really well, for crying out loud. And essentially, Harry Kane just popped up with a penalty and then popped up with a last-minute goal, and they won 3-2. Can you guess who scored for Crystal Palace? Zaha. AU. But anyway, but just from out of nowhere, Kane scores 2. But is it worth people like myself bringing him in on that whim of, well, he does nothing in a game, but then he just pops up with a goal? I don't think that's worth the 11.5. Now, if he was, say, 11 million, which, to be fair, I think would be a relatively fair price, 11 million for Kane. I think at that point, then I then think to myself, that 0.5 less than Haaland. But right now, with Man City's fixtures looking so good, Haaland to me is just an absolute, not quite a must, but it is now a toss-up between him and KDB. Now, I remember 3 seasons ago when someone took my advice, and I was banging on about the fact that, and you can look at all the stats you want, but the one that you want to look at is KDB at home to rubbish teams. Every time will get you a minimum of 10 points. And there was this one famous moment during Elite FPL where I can't remember who it was. It was a Scottish guy. It wasn't Davy P. It was someone else. And they took my advice. It could have been Davy P actually, but I don't think it was. It was someone else. It was definitely someone else. And they took my advice, and it was Man City at home to Brighton. And I was banging on and on about the fact that I'm captaining De Bruyne. He's up against Brighton. He's going to get a minimum of 10 points. Double-digit haul like he always gets against these rubbish teams at home. Did I do it? Nah. What did De Bruyne do? No, I can't remember the exact points that he got or anything. What I can tell you is that he got a double-digit haul. Now, I've said all along that I'm expecting in game week 2 for Haaland to return that hat-trick. I can just see it in the stars. A hat-trick versus Bournemouth at home. But can KDB, can he actually grab the ball by the horns and pull out that double-digit haul? Oh, hell yeah. Of course he can. And look, so this brings me on to my impression the other day, and it's not going to be Dread, but Dread and that lot. There's quite a few of them in the Hangout chat, and they were saying how, at the end of the day, they can't have everyone, which is very true. And this is why I keep banging on about the fact that it's why putting 50p on the player that you don't own but you most fear ain't a bad idea. Again, I don't advocate gambling, but if you can afford, £5 worth of bets or $5 worth of bets or whatever currency you use, just a small amount of money per game week, and put 50p's on like the assists or the whatever outcome you believe it could be, genuinely it stops the anxiety. Let's not fuck about here. Anybody watching this, if you I can't fucking stand it when people come out with the line, "You take fantasy football so fucking seriously. I think you need to step away." Hold on a minute. You're the kind of person that tweets every fucking 30 seconds about fantasy football. Why are you watching this show or anybody's show or listening to anybody's podcast? And yet, I take it seriously? I think you need to look at yourself. Anyway. But it kind of stops the anxiety because I keep banging on about it. As I stated last season, there was a moment where, look, my captain failed, but guess what? The player I didn't own won me a lot of money. Because something that the guy at William Hill told me was, I don't know why you don't just put, rather than putting like, if you think Salah's going to score, why don't you not just put, to make the odds a bit better, buy 0.1. So rather than being 5-1 on, it was 4.9-1 on, with 50p on Salah to score any time and Liverpool to win. If you that, and that's what I was doing. I was because it's that classic line, isn't it, from me? I'm no lino, but I pride myself on my predictions, and I do like putting that bet down of X popular player to score any time, because the majority of the FPL community are backing him. Let's just put 50p on him. I'm thinking this particular team, let's just name out of the hat, Chelsea, I think they're going to win 3-0 at home against Nottingham Forest. There we are, 50p. And then that player, Sterling, because everybody's worked out that Nottingham Forest are weak on the left-hand side and Sterling's going to have so much fun down there. So I put Sterling anytime goal scorer, Chelsea to win 3-0. Now the odds are probably going to be about 10-1, maybe even higher. 50p, and it comes through. Great. I don't own Sterling, but thank you very much. You just won me a £5. Great. This is an idea for people. If, like I say, I'm not advocating it, but certainly there are ways to stop anxiety, because there are so many people. I mean, I'll be bringing it up in a minute. So many people going through these thought processes of, I don't know how to get Kane in my team. I don't know how to get Son in my team. Oh God, I need double Chelsea defence, but I also want double Liverpool defence. Oh Christ, Cancelo's a must own. Oh, what about Haaland? What about Diaz and Salah? Do I go with Salah? Do I? As Dredd said in the Hangout chat, you can't have everybody. Which brings me on to that Hangout chat just quickly. So I'm not gonna lie, I've been doing this impression since I think it was on Friday. Now I can't go into direct details about the name because there was a bit of it got a bit heated. I'm not going to lie, and I was thinking, calm down, lads. But basically, our mate Podner, he says to Brew, the thing is, Brew, you're not even 30 yourself, and I think you've got a bit of growing up to do as well. I've been doing that line. I think you got a bit of growing up yourself to do. I could tell there was so much angst in his voice and like legitimately telling Brew like, you know, you got a problem with this individually, fair enough, but, you know, I think you need to... It's so funny. It's just the way Potter said it. And I think that's going to be a running theme throughout the year. I think you got a bit of brewing up yourself. The question is, what do you think about Neto? Could I do a whole members video in Podner's voice? Comment below. Yeah, welcome to members videos. Fuck me. I actually did a members... This is ridiculous. I did a one-off members video of my predictions as Dread FPL. Well... There was even this moment, actually, during the Hangouts. It was just genius. Where... I'm sure it was One Life Soccer. I apologise if it wasn't. I'm pretty certain it was. And he was getting angry about people talking about his season last year or something and how they were... But he was like, well, hold on a minute here. Listen, yeah? He was going mad to Firetog and Brew and Paulie about his rank and how, hold on a minute, I've got the best rank out of the lot of you. And then they were talking about Zinchenko and Emil was there, and I think, was it Joe Nicholson? Is that the same person? I apologise. And he was banging on about Zinchenko and don't talk about Tottenham, we're talking about you. And it was just getting it was just mental. Funny, as I'm walking along my usual walk and listen to these people arguing about Zinchenko. Better not look at my team then on screen. I daren't fucking pipe up else he was going to fight me. Hold on a minute, let me just, you can look at my screen while I'm coughing. Yeah, just so funny. I mean, going on to what John Harris said, he says, whether you just, this is based on the video that I did last night, Saturday night, that is. My game week 1 team almost locked, which is true. It is true. Majority of the players are pretty much staying the same. It's the odd one here or there changing, but let's not fuck about it. The ones that are pretty much nailed in my game week 1 team: Trent, Robertson, Cancelo, you know, winner, Cancelo, Saka. They're the 4 that are absolutely definitely staying in that team, no matter what. Salah is, I'm not going to lie, Salah's about 90%, 95% certain. By the way, anybody watching this going, but you said no Salah, which is true, but I'm also not disagreeing with people that aren't going with Salah. If you don't want to go with Salah, I'm not going to go, you're mental. Like, there are individuals, I'm not going to name them, nuclear atoms, who come out with the line, can't believe you're not going without Salah. What are you doing? What are you doing, Jace? What are you doing, Steve-O? It's not just nuclear atoms. There are many people. You're not going with Salah? John Harris isn't. And he simply says this. He says, whether you decide to go with Salah or no Salah, play your own game, Steve-O. I'm on draft number 87. And with 2 weeks to go, I'm sure it will change again. A captaincy plan without Salah is something you will have to look at, pal. Well, I will make the point that there are captaincy options out there which can be there instead of Salah. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that, hold on a minute here, Son's a rubbish option, but I wish I had Salah instead. No, I do still think that the people that want to be bringing in go the no Salah route. I know Karma Baby is somebody that's going down that route. John Harris, Firetog, I think's going no Salah or no Haaland, or as he's calling no Sauland. Was it no Sauland, Firetog? But yeah, I don't think it's risky. I think that if you believe in the fact that your other captaincy option, Son, Kevin De Bruyne, Diaz, are worthy, or Haaland, or Kane, are worthy of that captaincy, and you're confident that, like I keep banging on about Southampton, the Tottenham beating Southampton in game week 1, 2-0, and Son gets a goal and assist. Whereas, as I keep banging on about Fulham, Liverpool at home away at Fulham, and Salah gets his 2 goals. The points difference. But as I keep banging on about, this is what people keep forgetting, is the combinations of other players that you can get in. We've seen these teams, and I'll be bringing up some teams in a minute that haven't got Salah in. It does make you think, but I personally, I read my book. I read my book. Who wants to buy it? It'll be free. I read my book, and I looked at my notes, and it just simply said, stick to template to start with. Don't risk anything. And it's true. Now, don't get me wrong, I do agree with the whole argument regarding stick with core players and then the odd player here or there which could be explosive, which are differentials and consistent points returners, i.e. the likes of Sancho, Martial, to name 2 United players as an example. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I see the logic, but there are some teams where I'm just like, come on, you're not serious about having Bailey as a starter, are you? Come on. Now, come on. So talking of like these teams and everything, so I did put out a message in the members chat on Discord. I just said, look, I'm doing a free... By the way, these members videos are going to be free for the next... up until the beginning of the season. So for the next 2 weeks, whenever I do a members video, they will be uploaded live. I ain't going to fuck about. It is to try and encourage anybody that isn't a member to just become a member. $1.99. It's just $1.99. As Hulk Hogan once said about the WWE Network. $1.99. Terrible impression. But you get... I'm not going to fuck about here. You get exclusive personalised videos. You'll get me chatting in depth about your team and where I think you should go. You get exclusive league code to the members league. Winners. Yeah. By the way, if anybody doesn't understand that joke, and I apologise, but it's from The Office. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, members videos are one of my favourite things to do. Because I just chat shit for however long I can be bothered to chat for. As Firetog made the point the other day in the videos, I can't believe you talk on your own for an hour consistently without a break with an interesting conversation to yourself. I thank you for that. No, I appreciate it. And as I stated it to Dan or Jason on I think it was Dan on a voice message. I just said, look, for me personally, when I'm talking about a subject matter where I've got information at hand, i.e. the fantasy football website, it's something I'm passionate about because I've been doing it for unofficially, I've been doing it now, talking about it for 13 years. Reading and writing reports and everything. It just comes second nature to me now. Plus the fact that I get to watch games and everything. You also get sometimes you get post-match streams where, for instance, I'll then continue on from a stream. So the stream will end and then I'll just do like a 30-45 minute video digesting what the hell's just happened and then going into league details. And I do find it funny, again, I'm just going to get this off my chest, how people have the audacity to come out of the woodwork and say, well, I've been a supporter of the show for this amount of time, that amount of time. Yeah, I'm not being funny or anything, but do you make your presence aware? No. No disrespect or anything, but I'm sure there are many things that you watch. There's certainly many things that I watch or listen to where I don't make whoever the host's aware that I even listen to them. And, at the end of the day, if you really want to have your team highlighted or looked at, analysed, whatever, I'm not going to fuck about. You're better off becoming a member, because that way I get to, like I said, go in depth about your teams and everything and talk about it. But the point is that I did put out a message on Discord just to ask on the members chat. I did it on Twitter as well, but I doubt anybody's responded. About any questions, any opinions, any interesting questions, thoughts or opinions about the upcoming season on their teams or anything. So I did get a few responses. I'll bring it up on screen now. And we'll be able to, and also there's also the members only chat streams where, you know, again, I'm not going to fuck about here. There's a lot of people that watch our streams where we can't go through all the questions anymore, or the points of view or anything, because we're just so busy, inundated with messages from the guys that are watching, which is fine. But this is why the reward for the people that are continuously contributing to the show, why we've created this, or my idea of this YouTube chat only league, for me is a valuable commodity, because you guys were the ones that kept me and Jason sane through watch-alongs. You know, as I keep banging on about, there were times when we had like over 100 people watching a watch-along to, I don't know, Man United versus Burnley, and it was very difficult for 2 hours to continuously chat, and then you'd look at the chat and no one had spoken for 5 minutes. Like, it's very difficult to not have any of that interaction with anybody. But anyhow, but I was listening in. Like I said, I've been going down a virtual FPL kick, listening into the old streams, which are brilliant, by the way. And essentially, one of the things that Jason said, do you remember James Bang when he created that mini league? Well, there was a few people that Jason says on this virtual FPL stream that are like, oh, what a surprise. People are coming out of the woodwork to say they're long supporters of the show and want to be part of this mini league. Why? Because there's money involved. Nah, clear off. We set that league so that it was for dedicated members to the show, community. And, you know, like I say, I'm sure I'm probably offending people. I'm probably pissing people off. But in the grand scheme of things, any form of streaming, you need that interaction. You want that, you know. And like I keep banging on about, the easiest way to show your support or be part of the community is, ironically, by becoming a member. Like I said, it's not much money, you know, but you get lots and lots of videos, and throughout the whole season, they turn up the pace. But quick question from Harbour Boy, Gary. He's saying, what match are you most looking forward to in game week 1? Man City. I answered that instantly. Man City is the one game I cannot fucking wait for. I just want to see how they set up. I want to see how West Ham approach the game. I want to see how Haaland performs. Want to see who the starting 11 is. By the way, as well, I keep forgetting this. Community Shield's going to play a big role in my thought process as well regarding Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, it's going to play a massive thought process. If Haaland's looking fucking... In that, again, I know it's only highlight package. I'm sure someone will comment below and say, well, hold on a minute, Steve. Actually, Bayern Munich were fucking amazing. They were all over Man City. Haaland was anonymous for the 50 minutes he was on the pitch. Fair enough. I'm just basing this on highlights. And like I said, based on the training that I've been seeing him in the video, he's looking happy. He's looking part of a team. That's the key word. Team. You're a fucking team like Liverpool are. Like Man City. You're going to achieve a lot. And guess what? They do achieve a lot. Whereas like all these teams, like, no disrespect to Chelsea, but they are very individualistic. Yeah, just bring him in. I don't care if they're only going to be playing for a season. They can clear off, and I'll bring the next poor bastard that's going to come into the team and not be able to perform like he did at the Eredivisie or Bundesliga or La Liga. You know, we're only bringing him in not to fit into a system. That's why it's going to be interesting with Sterling as well. Sterling's going to be an interesting watch. I know James on Planet FPL was saying to the guy that won their advanced tier Patreon league, and they were talking about Sterling, and they were saying how he could be a real one to watch in the opening few weeks, which is true. If he fits into that system really, really well, he could be a fucking goldmine in there. Because we all know that every single season, everybody goes with a similar template team, and then it's always that one gem, like, I don't know, Bowen or someone like that just pops out from nowhere, and it's like, oh, fucking hell. Like, I saw all this talk about Jesse Lingard at Nottingham Forest. Yeah, he plays for Nottingham Forest. Calm the fuck down, okay? Just calm the fuck down. What the fuck do you think Nottingham Forest is going to be doing next year? What, do you think they're going to be scoring hatfuls of goals? Yes, he could be the key main man, but the reality is that if you're going to be buying virtually how many players have they bought this year? 5, 6, 7 players? That's not good. You see it with a lot of the championship teams that come up. They sell some of their key components from the team the year before that did them so proudly, come up to the Premier League, and they buy off a squad. They don't gel, and they get relegated again. Or they perform really, really poorly and just about survive. Something to look at. That's why I think Forest and Bournemouth are really going to be struggling this year. Really struggling. But yeah, onto the game week 1 fixtures. Like I said, it's got to be Man City away at West Ham. I'll be interested to see Man United. I'll be scouting them. Man United are a team in which they've got some, again, excuse the terminology, for the 50th time, but they've got some gems in there in Martial, Sancho and Rashford. Those 3 could be top quality. Looking at their defence as well. Chelsea, you know what you're going to get with Chelsea. Not really fussed with them. Liverpool, again, you know what you're going to get with them. They're going to, the assumption is they're going to score a minimum of 4 against Fulham. Arsenal is another one as well. Arsenal is another one. Really good fixtures. And Tottenham. But to be fair with Tottenham, you kind of know what you're getting. Whereas in Man City, with Haaland up front, how they're performing. I know James of Planet FPL put out a tweet regarding Haaland and how he could be, how Kevin De Bruyne could be used to accommodate with Haaland and everything. And maybe we're overlooking Kevin De Bruyne. Maybe we could be. Dale, my friend, he sent me this team. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. Look at that up on screen for people listening on audio. Mendy, Zinchenko, Digne, Walker, Trippier. And listen to this attack. Son, Sancho, Saka, De Bruyne, Grealish, Kane. All guaranteed starters for their team. So that's a big tick from me. Big tick. Grealish looking good in pre-season. Apparently people are commenting on the fact that he's struck up a really good friendship with Haaland. That's a good thing. De Bruyne, no comment. We've already spoke to death about him. Saka, everything goes through Saka. Sancho's the one. I know Nuka Adams was banging on about the fact that Sancho is the guy in which could be the Bundesliga player that we've all been waiting for last year. Now, I will say that there is a common theme with players like Sancho that have come from... They do really well in their foreign league, and then they come over to this country and they fall flat on their faces. Well, I've got a theory on that. Now, Andy, Let's Talk FPL, was interviewing FPL Harry, and it was really cool to see Harry, because as I stated on Twitter, genuinely, Harry is a supporter of the show. He has become a member, but it's not about him being a member. It's the fact that he is genuinely someone that comes regularly onto the streams and everything. He comes onto the Discord occasionally for the watch-alongs, and it's really cool that he does that. And he was interviewed by Andy. They had a chat about various players, and they were talking about Haaland and how, well, players, they come in from other leagues and they may fail. I've looked into certain players and everything and how they've performed, and some of the players, at the end of the day, I look at them and go, yeah, but did they do that? Do they do that well for their team and country, i.e. the likes of Havertz and Werner? How well did they actually perform for club and country? Because that's what I look at as well. How well do they perform for club and country? And how well will they... And how, when they're bought by these clubs, i.e. Chelsea, for instance, are they being put into a system which suits their strengths? Well, by all accounts, from callers that we took on from Discord and various commenters, Werner wasn't played in the position that he likes to get played in. So his strengths were weakened, which means that we got nothing from him, as we all saw. We could see there was a player there, but playing him through out on the left, waste of time. Havertz, another one. 1 minute he's playing up front, next minute he's on the right, next minute he's through there's a clip for you. I'm the only one that clips this show, so I'll clip that. He played behind the striker. He played on the left. I mean, he played everywhere. How the fuck is he going to get consistent returns? It's no coincidence that when he was playing consistently up front, he's returning all the time. But then once everybody jumps on him, he's gone back to the right side of midfield or whatever. Son, never played in Premier League, did okay wherever he was from, took time to settle in at Tottenham, and he didn't even play, I don't even think he played in the position that he was playing for in the team that he came from. Did pretty poorly. Following season, now he's used to the Premier League and he's being played to his strengths. Guess what? He turns into the player that we all expect. So, going back to it, I think Sancho could definitely be someone to look at. And I'll tell you what, Dale's team up on screen, okay, the fence, I hate Thier. I just can't stand Aston Villa. But Thier, Newcastle's Trippier, I would be looking to kind of like maybe take them out. But Walker, guaranteed starter. And, you know, I keep saying this line, we have got the first wild card. If we kind of feel that, wait a minute, Walker didn't even start against West Ham. You know, he's all hit or miss coming into the team and out of the team. Oh, fucking hell, Grealish. You know, he hasn't even started against Bournemouth. You know, by game week 3 and 4, we'll have a general understanding what the players' form is like, what team formations people are playing, and so on and so forth. You know, they're not. Okay, you can take Pep Guardiola as an example, and yes, there is that Pep roulette, but there is a core bunch of players that are guaranteed to start. Ederson, Diaz, Kevin De Bruyne. They're the three. Okay, admittedly it's the three. Fernandinho, if he's still there. Rodri. They're all pretty much guaranteed. And then it's just and Cancelo. The attacking front four are predominantly going to stay the same. It's going to be Haaland, flanked by Grealish and Mahrez, Foden, and then it's all about how do we fit these players into that way. Because I've also got this Alvarez. He looked good on the highlights. Alvarez coming off the bench, he looked lively. Looked lively in training as well. I think certainly there's a start with the way Grealish is playing at the moment. Why can't he start? But again, it's something that they said on that Planet FPL podcast. You just don't know, because they were looking at Mahrez as an example, but Grealish could be the key here. And this is the one thing. You know, I'm not that stubborn to go, no, I am sticking with my plan. No, if someone comes out with an idea like Dale has, the best brother, by the way, just to let people know, to give you context, the best. Yeah, the best on Discord, yeah? I've completely forgot what I was talking about. Ideas. So Dale's come out with ideas which make you want to think. This is why when we do the call-ins, it makes you want to think. But still, my team is going to be based around certain... A bit like with Man City, with their core players, my team's going to be based around core players. But yeah, I think that team there is fucking stunning. Genuinely, with the exception of Thier and Trippier. But if Dale could somehow get in... Because it's possible. Get in some top 6 team defenders, or teams that are really good at keeping clean sheets. Aston Villa are always susceptible to that one goal conceded. Yeah, they may score I say they score a few. Do they score many? Karma, baby. Let us know in the comments below, yeah? But Trippier certainly, with Newcastle, they could be another team that are pretty gold. We don't know what was on Dale's bench. I'm assuming it was going to be a 4 million defender, 4.5. No, it won't be it'll be 2 4.5s strikers, but doesn't need to worry because Kane's a guaranteed start. I think that team there could be copying you, Dale. Could be copying you. But I think that's very, very good team. Very good team. I like it a lot, as Forrest Gump once famously said. So El Mako, we'll get to him in a minute. So here's Harbour Boys' team. He loves his Chelsea, doesn't he? Harbour Boy, just because it served him so well last year with his triple defence. No Salah, but look at this team. You see, you know when they ask that, who's we? You know when they ask that question, look. I wonder if Mr. Reed even watches any of this. That's a Faulty Towers reference. Now look. I do look at teams like this and I think, fucking hell, that's dark and dangerous. That is a dangerous team up on screen for people listening. All Raya, Trent, Cancelo, Chilwell, James, Robertson, Diaz, Bailey, De Bruyne, Maddison, Kane. Every single one of them, barring Bailey, is a guaranteed starter for their teams. They all play for top 6 teams, well, with the exception of Raya, Maddison and Bailey. But Maddison, Leicester can push for that top 6 spot. Bailey, he's having a really good pre-season. Again, let's not fuck about here. We know he's having a really good pre-season, sorry. But the problem is that I remember him last year scoring. Did he score a hat-trick or he got a hat-trick of assists or something? He scored an incredible amount of goals and he was dropped the next game. Or he did fuck all the next game. I can't remember now. And people were like, oh, maybe it was just a one-hit wonder. Even though he looked really good. Now, Aston Villa fans like Harbour Boy, or like Karma Baby, are saying that, look, Bailey should be starting. Just fuck off with Danny Ings and Watkins. Stop this, Steven Gerrard, stop this obsession with Danny Ings and Watkins. Give us Bailey. Now, if that was to come to fruition, and actually, Steven Gerrard goes into this season like, do you know what? I'm really happy with how he's performing this pre-season. Let's give him this opportunity to actually start consistently rather than the odd substitute appearance here or there. We've then got a player on our hands here. Opening 4 fixtures, Bournemouth away, beautiful. Everton at home, beautiful. Crystal Palace away, not so easy, but West Ham at home, not too great. So certainly those 2 opening fixtures are good, but for a 5 million, 65% guaranteed starter for those opening 4, ain't bad. Ain't bad. I like it. I like it a lot. And, you could in theory downgrade if you're not too keen on Leicester. I mean, Leicester's another team as well, which fascinate me. I mean, they still... I mean, I watched bits and pieces of their friendlies against Derby. Christ almighty. They look fucking useless. Although, Steve-O's tip of the day. If that... Is it Luke Thomas? I know it's Thomas, but certainly Thomas of Leicester. I tell you what, I know Sai, the best, had him in his team last year for a brief period when I can't remember who was out now. Yeah, Luke Thomas. 4.5. He looked good. In the friendly that I saw yesterday against Derby, he looked good. He looked like the kind of player that you want in your team. I just want to take a swig of a drink. He was just constantly bombing down the left-hand side, getting into the box, putting in dangerous crosses. As Gareth does. I keep an eye on him. And if he's a starter for Leicester, there could be a gem. He's only, 21, 22? I don't know if it actually says there. No, it doesn't. He's only a youngster. He's trying to settle in, but with the likes of Castagna, James Justin, Pereira. It's a wait and see. There are a lot of teams that are wait and sees. But because a lot of us are all going into this season with triple up of Liverpool and Man City, and maybe a Spurs player, it only leaves us with the odd spot here or there, but we can't stretch these, quote, differentials. But certainly another team up on the screen here with Harbour Boy where I just think, you know what? You've got the balance pretty much bang on the money. Kane, De Bruyne, your 2 captaincy options for the next God knows how many weeks. You've got the heavy hitting back line of Chilwell and James, Trent, Cancelo, Robertson. That team there, I look at my team and I think, fucking hell, that just pisses all over my team. Genuinely. Because, like I said, it's got that slight differentials in De Bruyne, Maddison, Kane, Chilwell. And yeah, that could be damaging. That could be really fucking damaging. I like it. This is El Maco's team that he's put. I think he says no. Oh, he has gone with Salah. So we have. This is interesting. You don't see many of these teams with Edison in, do you? 3-5-2. Edison, Trent, Cancelo, Zinchenko. Another one was Zinchenko. Don't tell One Life Soccer this. They bite your head off. Rashford, Diaz, Salah, Neto, Martinelli. Obviously started against Chelsea. We know the kind of quality of player that he is. Like I say, from a skill point of view and just as an attacking threat, I'd argue he's better than Saka. I'd argue that. He's very aggressive. He wants to just get forward. Problem is his minutes. We don't know whether he's going to start or not. That's the only downside. Jesus and Haaland up top. Beautiful. I think again, I don't look at... The thing is, the difference between his team and Harbour Boy's team is that there are players in there where I just go, I'm not too worried about him. Martinelli being one of them, Neto, Rashford. Whereas Harbour Boy's team, that big at the back, plus he's got those big name players in there, in the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland. But no, I think it's a really nice team though. You've got when I say premium defenders, I should say that I should always clarify this. It's players from premium teams that are always going to be challenging for the top 6. Or in this case, the top 2 in Liverpool and Man City. But you've got the 2 most attacking threats from a defensive point of view in Trent and Cancelo. Zinchenko could be, without keep going on about it, could be an absolute fucking steal. And could he be one of those players where I don't have in my team and then someone like Vince Chapman pops up and goes, I brought him in because of you. And look what he's been doing for me, getting assists every single week. You even got a goal the other day. What have you got? Nobody. Who are you? Another Office reference. Who are you? Wanker. You're the wanker, mate, if anyone is. I was trying to... I had the cards, all the answers all set up, and what was that? What was your shit? This is how I keep talking in Fire Talk, just doing random fucking Office quotes. But once again, yeah, that's a really, really likeable team. And those differentials in the likes of Rashford and Martinelli could kick you off. And that's what I'm trying to get at with this members league that we're doing, or the YouTube chat league that we're doing. It's the teams like this, like El Maco, like Harbour Boy, who a lot of the players, a lot of people have got. Raya, Trent, Cancelo, James, Robertson. That's 5 straight away. A lot of people that take the game seriously have got. Chilwell's that slight difference. You don't see many people with Chilwell's. It's usually James. Diaz. And then it's forget Bailey. But Maddison, De Bruyne and Kane, we know what they can do. We know what they can do. They will fuck you up if they want to. And I think that if Harbour Boy was to do this team for Game Week 1, and it was pretty much nailed, I'll tell you what, he's got a fucking beautiful team here. And if he doesn't, I say fear the worst, but if he doesn't worry about not owning Salah and stays strong after Salah gets his 2 goals and an assist, and Kevin De Bruyne only gets an assist versus West Ham, and Kane only gets a goal versus Southampton, can Harbour Boy stay strong? Can he stay strong? Because I'm telling you this for free. Nothing beats free. I'll tell you what. This could be good. fact, someone's literally, Joey B on Twitter, nothing beats free. Hashtag nothing beats free. Fuck me. Someone's actually done. But yeah, can Harbour Boy, can Gary hold strong? Or will he be like a lot of people are, Salah looked incredible. Those 2 goals and an assist versus Fulham, fucking hell, he's got Crystal Palace next. What the fuck's he going to do there? We all know he performs better at home. Can he stay strong? He probably can. But as we keep going on about, we don't have a crystal ball. And we could just be here all day chatting about the various scenarios. That's why I put 50p, 50 cents in your case, on Salah to do that. But that I'll tell you what, Arbor Boy, that is possibly one of the best, along with Dale. Dale and you have come up with 2 of the best drafts that I've seen. Well done. Yeah, I like that. I mean, Gabriel De Rop here saying about, if you've got no plans to get any Spurs attackers after a couple of game weeks, and El Mako saying there's not enough room. There is room. There is room. I think that in El Mako's team, as a simple example, if Haaland doesn't perform but Kane is continuing his pre-season form, there's your upgrade. Well, I say upgrade. There's your sideways move. You're getting Kane immediately. This is another thing as well, like with the eye test that I love, is you can see when players are on it. This is why I'm loving the pre-season. The pre-season is, telling me a lot about the players and how happy they are. And that's why, like with my specific team, I think that with the likes of wanting to have Haaland in and stuff, the only thing that has changed my mind over the last few days is just how Haaland's looking. Just how good Haaland is looking. Kevin De Bruyne, for fuck's sake. He's looking fucking top notch. And if I was to go down this whole philosophy of, I'm sure I've got it written in my book about. I'm sure I've got it written here. Yes. Always do your fantasy bets. So if I don't go with KDB, I just simply put a bet on him. But I've still got Haaland. I've still got Haaland in my team. If I don't have Son, 50p. I know I keep sounding like a broken record, but... And like I say, like here, it says here, try go with the safety captaincy / template team early. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Scout out what's going on. See how players are performing. Always interesting. We did have a question from Twitter, would you believe? Unbelievably, someone actually interacted with us. And it's ironically, I think it's Tashi, he's a member. Should we consider Martial ahead of Jesus and avoid Chelsea win-backs? As it stands right now, no. I think Jesus, you should own. I think you should be able to own. So I've just seen another team Dale's just sent in. I think as it stands right now, stick with Jesus. They got the fixtures. Man United, again, are a wait and see how they set up, see how they play around Martial and everything. I think that's the key one that you've got to be looking out for, how they are going to be performing with their new setup and everything. Hence why Sancho, Martial are on my radar. They're both on my radar. Like I say, it's the same in Man City. The likes of Grealish, Mahrez, Foden. How are they gonna fit into that team? Are they going to be looking like to be regular starters? No one knows. But certainly the first 2-3 weeks are going to be very interesting. I mean, you ask about the Chelsea win-backs. So, from my point of view, it's all about the team setup that Tuchel goes with. Now, based on livescore.com's formation setup here, Chelsea went with a 4-3-2-1. Now, by all accounts, if Chelsea play a 4 at the back, that isn't good for Chilwell and Reece James. Because if they play 3, and this is why Chelsea is still a wait and see for me. Look at what they're... See what... Really, it's down to your own research. I mean, I could argue it's the same for me. Look at what formations they're playing. Are they changing it so that actually they don't get the best out of the wing-backs, i.e. Chilwell and Reece James? I don't know. Again, I'm no expert. I don't delve deep into all this stuff. There are other... Well, let's get real here. Planet FPL do a very, very good job at delving deep into the strategies of teams and everything. It's very interesting. So, but certainly, by all accounts, if they're playing 4 at the back, Chilwell and James, forget it. Forget it. Anyhow, on that note, as ever, thanks everyone for tuning in the premiere. It'd be interesting. Let me know in the comments below. How many times do you want to see that, Steve? Let's say it again. Let me know in the comments below if you've been literally watching this premiere from start to finish. Let us know if you're enjoying these members videos, and if you've got any questions about the members videos, let me know. But yeah, really enjoyed that, and I'm going to catch you. Shall I do what John Harris requested again? Let's try and get it right this time. I should have done it at the start of the video. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. And hit that notification bell, yeah? Fuck off.